Okay, guys, I think you can hear me, so it would be helpful if we could maybe someone say you can see me and hear me through the chat screen. That'll be good. So I know you're there. Just let me know you're there, guys. You can hear me and see my screen okay. So, 1 second. First time I use this bit of kit. 1 second. You can see me, can't you? Whoa, chat. Okay, good. Dave Burns says you can see and hear me, which is good. So I presume you can all see and hear me. Just 1 second. Just seeing how many people we've got on here now. People are joining. You can see Anne, Carol, Dave Foddy, Dave Burnham, Dave Taylor, Dennis, Jean, Libby, Marianne, Neil, Philip. It's like a register for school. Sue Spencer, Libby. We've got Cynthia, Carol. I'll just leave it a little bit longer so people can join us, and we'll get started. There's a few more people I've seen have registered. I think we got about 23 or 24 saying they're going to attend tonight. I've had a few people who said they can't make it for one reason or another. Maybe the last ditch meal out, maybe. So what I'll do in a minute, I'll turn my screen off and I'll go to the slides and we'll get started. So we are just after 7. So 2 minutes after 7. So I'll give it another minute and we'll get started, guys. So throughout the night, if you want any questions answered, you can go in the Q&A and ask questions. I can get to those at the end if you have any questions. And I think we are, I'm not sure, I think we may be live on YouTube, maybe live on, and David said I can see you. Okay. I think it might be live on YouTube and maybe live on Facebook. Well, I don't know, maybe. I just pressed the right, I hope I got the right buttons for that one. So the whole world can see us and hear us. And maybe they'll be recording afterwards. So what I'm going to do is after 25 minutes, I'm going to set my phone. Hopefully it'll be about an hour. I'm going to set my phone to have a little stretch at 25 minutes for me and for you. Don't want you falling asleep. So I'll try and speak slowly, the odd pause. And okay, I'll set my phone and I'm going to put my screen on full screen now. 1 second. Oops, daisy. 1 second, press the right button might help. Oh God, here we go. Good start. 1 second, guys. 1 second, we got full screen now. I think I might also turn my video off. Do I see me all night? Just 1 second. There's one little button I've got to find here as well. Okay, so we'll get started. So fitness masterclass for over 50s. Why have I chosen to do it for people over 50? Basically because once people get into their 50s and 60s, they tend to turn up with their bodies maybe a little bit battered from 30 years of work. They could be losing a bit of muscle mass, maybe they're less flexible, maybe they're a bit stiffer, and lots of other things. So obviously I'm well past that age, and I've experienced all those situations. So maybe those people need training slightly different than the rest. Complete guide to online fitness. Obviously COVID has made us go online, there's no doubt about that. So, and there's various forms of going online fitness, and we'll discuss those tonight. And finally, we've got the what I think is the 7 mistakes made by people over 50 when they exercise. So we'll try and go over those. That's what I think anyway. So we'll move on to the next slide. That is me with my wife. That's how we dress every Saturday night for our dinners. Obviously, we get dressed up like every Saturday night like that. And we sit down at the table and have our meals, obviously. And now that was a day when we could go out. just remembering those days. Obviously, some of you know who I am. For you don't, I'm 64 years of age. I retired at 55. I had no idea what to do with myself. And then by chance, I was in Mac Hospital in the outpatients waiting for some physio on my shoulder. I was there for 6 or 7 different appointments. Every week I just started chatting to the various people in the waiting room. And it seemed that an awful lot of them had falls. They'd broken hips, broken knees, but mostly hips. And it wasn't just 1 or 2, it was lots and lots. So I went back and did some research. And it seemed like it was a pandemic in itself, that people were falling. And obviously, when they get 70 or 80, their body gets deconditioned. And that's when you put on weight. It doesn't happen overnight, it happens over a number of years. Maybe it does start at 50. You do start losing muscle mass at 50. And I thought maybe you can do something in this area, get people in their 50s and 60s a bit stronger. So I did some talks to some local groups, got some clients, of which you can see 3 there. We've got Gordon, Judy, and Tony, all wearing the 80 strong shirts. Obviously, I tried to pitch for 50, 60-year-olds, but I end up getting a little bit older than that, which is fine. And they've all been training for about 5 years now. And why I do this, because I want to have more of people in their 80s feeling strong. Gordon's still a walk leader. He takes out various people on 7 or 8 mile walks in his 80s. Judy is very busy, and Tony still plays rounds of golf. Pulling his own trolley. He's not got an electric trolley, he just pulls his own trolley. And they'll be doing that for a good number of years. They're both, in fact, they're all 81 now. So they'll be doing that for a good number of years, and good luck to them. Obviously, and it's less of that. Obviously, that is a typical image of what an old person apparently looks like nowadays. So you can see the curvature in the spine. They're walking very slowly. The guy's got the stick. So obviously, I want more of that with the guys with their weights in their hands and nice and strong, and less of that. That's what I do all this for. So here we go. So let's get into this straight away. Stop making these 7 exercise mistakes. 1 second. So number 1, I think people generally do too much cardio, because really, how fit do you really want to be? You know, there's other fitness covers a whole array of different skills, and obviously, really, as we get older, we should have a well-rounded exercise program. We should be stronger. We should have a stronger core. We should be more mobile. We should have good balance, good flexibility, and be supple. So why spend your time on cardio all the time when you can do the other areas well? Because again, like I said, how fit do you really want to be? You know, a good cardiovascular system, you can get that by walking fairly fast. And some guys get completely addicted to cardio. I know how it feels. I know you can get that way. So exercise as a weight loss tool. People think you can lose weight exercising. The problem with doing that, the problem when you exercise is you get very hungry. And people go out for maybe a 5, 6, 10 mile walk. They burn so many calories according to their phone, and they go and eat something which is far in excess of what they just worked out. So really, exercise isn't a great tool. Exercise is wonderful for the 3 M's. It gives you a great mood. You get the endorphins, you build muscle, and also you improve your metabolism. But really, if you want to lose weight, then as it says, the 8% is the foreplay in the kitchen, and 20% is exercise. So really, it's not a great exercise, a weight loss tool. Exercise is not. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying don't expect to lose weight by just, you know, running around the block a few times, because you're going to get very hungry. You're going to end up eating more. Another thing, you see so many people in gyms or just doing online workouts, and they do something, some sort of exercise, probably a burpee, no doubt, or some mountain climber, and they do it terribly. They end up compensating somewhere. They avoid certain muscle groups. They cheat, and they always choose the path of least resistance, which is the easiest way of doing the exercise. So obviously when you're being watched by somebody like me or by a coach, then they tend to do it better. Okay, modern life and aging, we don't address the fact that, you know, after 40 years, 50 years of sitting at a desk or a computer, on phone, driving a car, you tend to get a more rounded position, and aging also does that. It makes you put you in a flex position, which is more rounded. So we've got to address those, we don't address those sort of situations as we get older. Strength and resistance is a must, I believe, for, and not enough people do enough strength and resistance in their workouts. And as I put there, muscles are a foundation of active longevity. So it's really important you keep your muscles strong and active, because one day they will save you in a fall. As you get older, you could well fall. But again, you can do so much more when you've got good, strong, toned muscles. There's also a thing, there's also people who are all or nothing. They just go out, they do their 3-hour work in the gym, they go for massive long walks, and then leave it for 2 weeks. Then they do it again and they're really sore, rather than, so you've got the all or nothing camp, or you've got the always something camp, where you're always doing something. You know, you're doing 2 or 3 minutes a day, do a few pushes every day, do a few squats, but I do it every single day. And those things mount up over the years. Just walking up your stairs is enough, really, but you know, it's enough to keep you exercising rather than going for the drive to the gym. It takes you half an hour to get there, you get changed, go through your workout, and you've just killed two hours. And you won't do it again for a while, but you get the idea. There's also a situation where people train in one plane of movement. Most people maybe walk is the main exercise, which is basically a frontal, where you just walk into the straight line. And that's one plane of movement. So what we can do, go to the next slide and explain a bit more what I mean by training in one plane of movement. So you can see there, we've got obviously the guy, the orange guy is a walker or a cyclist. He's going in that plane of movement. Then you've got the green guy who's exercising from side to side, and the blue guy is the one that's doing the rotational bit. So 1 second. So again, we've got front to back, we've got side to side, and we've got rotational. And muscles are available for each plane of movement. In life, we live a 3D life, 3-dimensional life. So we should train 3-dimensional. So 1 second, guys, sorry. What's happened to my computer? Oh, what's happened here now? 1 second, that screen's not moving on. 1 second. Oh, there we go. So obviously, if you use one plane too much, you're going to get an overuse or an underuse. If you don't use another plane that much, and it can lead to injury. So if you just walk, constantly walking, or running, eventually you'll probably pick up some injuries. So if you use different planes of movement, then maybe you can avoid some of those injuries. And you get stories of innocent movements, you know, where the injury came from. It came from nowhere, but it came from repetitively doing the same thing over and over again. So our bodies compensate very well for a while, and then suddenly they won't compensate anymore. And muscles that get weak or not designed to do the job eventually give in, and you get injuries. So obviously I'm rabbiting away. Does that information make sense to anybody? Could someone send me a little email to say, yeah, that makes sense to me? So I'm not talking to myself. Just looking for any messages that are coming through to make sure you're getting it. Yeah, David raised his hand, that's good. So, okay, good. Okay, Dave Foddy said, makes sense. Thank you very much, Dave Foddy. Okay, we'll continue then. So, 1 second, guys. Well, I'll put quiz time there, but maybe we don't do a quiz. We'll just do a quiz with yourself, basically. So my hobbies are walking and cycling. So what would you say, obviously, what would you say is it the orange man, is it the green man, or is it the blue man? You could probably send a little chat if you want to, a little message over, which one is it? Which plane of movement is walking and cycling, one of my first hobbies. Mr. Foddy's on the ball tonight. Okay, guys, thank you, guys. The orange man, okay. My other hobbies is golf. So which man is that then? Sitting on your, how you say, Rob? So golf, which one is the golf man? Rotation, thank you, which is the blue man. Okay, and finally, my other hobby, which I love. 1 second, if I can get my screen to work. Oh, what's going on here now? Okay, and my third hobby is table tennis. So only leaves, obviously, it can only be one thing, can't it? Yeah, okay, so you got the idea. So obviously all my hobbies, I'm a clever sod, I do all 3 planes of movement. I walk and cycle, I golf, and I play table tennis. God, my wife is very understanding, obviously. So you got the idea. So we'll just move on from there. If I can get this thing to work. Why is my screen not moving on tonight? 1 second, guys. I think we've done all that, so that's good. So in the next 60 minutes, it's less than that, and how I've been rabbiting on for 10 minutes. We're going to look at the 5 most successful YouTube fitness providers, the downside of training at home, the upside of training at home, my move to online fitness, my new ebook, which is a simple little 8-page ebook, not a full 600-page War and Peace novel, I'm afraid. How to get in shape and stay in shape for the next 30 years, which is probably the longer you worked. You could well have a situation where you're alive longer than your working career. So you better take your retirement of the next few years very serious, because you want to be in shape for all 30 of them, or whatever number it is. How to set up your own gym for less than £40. What I've discovered in my 4,000 hours of training the over 50s, and what is really the best core exercise to do after 50. We're going to cover all those situations. So there we go. The top 5 online fitness giants based on their subscribers. I did a bit of research and I looked around and I did a bit of Googling, and I found which one they were. I put in order of the biggest subscribers. So number 1 is Yoga with Adriana. So Adriana is he's got 8.5 million subscribers. She's got 15,000 paid members, and she was an out-of-work actress who liked yoga, and she even admits herself she was not very good at yoga. She had lots of issues, but she was very relatable to people, could relate to her. And she started this thing a good number of years ago. Her mum and dad were yoga enthusiasts, sort of like hippie sort of mum and dad. And she's her thing is find what feels good. She does weekly videos. The titles include yoga at your desk, yoga for kids, yoga for tension relief, and yoga when you feel dead inside. There's a title for you. One second, get a drink of water. She's got a massive 8.5 million subscribers. So next one, which you go find, is Pop Sugar Fitness, whatever that is. It's 5.6 million subscribers. They sweat along celebrity fitness trainers. Obviously, some of these guys must train in some of the Hollywood A-list, B-list, C-list, etc. I talk about get in touch with your calories, box fit, HIIT, Latin dance, abs and butt, and lots more. And they're number 2 that I could find, with only a mere 5.6 million subscribers. Then we have Bogalatis, apparently, yes, 5.37 million subscribers. And you can see that in the picture there, somebody called Casey Ho. She's the one fronting it all. She's a Pilates and a fitness instructor. So I'm not sure what that means. Obviously, people use Pilates as a name and completely change the whole essence of what Pilates is, and just ride in the back of the name Pilates. Just 7-day booty workouts, arm fat blasters, thigh workout challenges, and more. And number 4, we've got the Fitness Marshal. We only have 2.93 million subscribers. It looks like a dance type workout, the sweat set, the speed sweat, the low shack or whatever, easy low impact cardio, clean bandit mix. And obviously there's one thing you picked up in there. This is for all, I think, for younger people. You can't see many over 50 guys doing some of these things. And then we've got our own Joe Wicks. He comes in at 2.6 million subscribers. Obviously, he broke a world record this year, apparently. He had 1 million people doing his workouts during the first lockdown. He apparently called himself the home of home workouts. He posts weekly home workouts. He does ab blasters, kettlebell workouts, beginners. He's a great PE teacher for the kids. He does follow along pre-recorded type stuff. And he really has got people into doing some great workouts, and God bless him, he's doing a great job for the health of the nation, but maybe not suitable for all age groups, maybe not. And finally, at number 6, don't know why I got number 6, but we got number 6, is my channel with a massive 83 subscribers. Can you believe it, eh? So aimed at men in there, women in there over 50. There's not a lot of videos on there yet. I'm not really got it sorted out yet. I do obviously stay strong, supple for longer, and I do something called live and supported sessions. So that's me, not quite a YouTube star yet, not beyond Strictly yet. Obviously, into all the YouTube channels, end up with Strictly. And I can dance. I'm going to give that a go. I'm going to try and push my my audience a bit more. So make sure you like my channel and subscribe to my channel later. Okay, guys, the downside of training or exercise at home. Obviously, there's no connection with any human beings, because when you go to the gym or when you go out for a walk, maybe you see other people. But obviously, when you're on your own, you're on your own. And that's simple as that. Less camaraderie, maybe less motivation. You work out alone. It needs discipline to better turn up each time with some pre-recorded video or something else to watch. You've got to do it yourself. You've already got too much screen time. People are already working at home, are already in front of the screen too much anyway, so there's more screen time. You're not sure what to do at home. Do I need expensive kit? Do I need an exercise bike? Do I need all the stuff? Or can I just do it with my body weight? So, yeah, so that's an issue. So, 1 second, guys. Technical issues. People get concerned about, what do we use? A TV, an iPad, a laptop, a smartphone? How do we do it? How do we get connected? How do you do all this stuff? Obviously, you've got to be able to see, and you've got to be able to hear people when they're doing their workouts. And if you're doing support classes like I do, you've got to be seen. I've got to be able to see you doing your workouts. So you've got a choice of thousands of pre-recorded videos. Obviously, you saw all those YouTube giants. You've got pre-recorded ones, you've got live and supported workouts. And what have you got to pay? There are tons of free stuff out there. So why not choose a free product and go for it? You could buy a product that you keep for life and just use that over and over again. Or you can pay what some of my clients do, a month subscription, and that's your choice. But the thing is, what's going to keep it going back day in, day out? What's going to keep this thing sustainable? Which option will keep you going week in and week out? So that's your choice. Because if you're okay with the first week, the second week of lockdown, third week, will you still be doing it in 3, 5, 6 months time? That's what you got to think about, I guess. I'm going to need some space to move around at home. So you can't just do it. You need some space to move around. So that's a downside of upside training. Downside, sorry, of training at home. And the upside, okay, it's now more acceptable during lockdown. We know Joe Wicks had a world record, 1 million people. He must have attracted quite a few beginners. I know some people around in Goose Street who were never exercised before in front of go to a gym, and definitely not exercise at home in front of a TV. Obviously, you got a lot of press Joe Wicks did in the BBC and everything else. That really helped to bump his subscribers, and he got people going. So yes, online is more acceptable now. Who tried online exercise for the first time? Well, there was obviously regular gym goers tried it. There's people who are doing home workers, who are working at home, could nip away for a quick half an hour and put their computer on pause, whatever. There was kids did it, mums and dad did it, and even grandparents did it, because Joe did some chair-based stuff which again, chair base, I mean, these guys, I mean, the grandparents, they're old. That's a whole rabbit to go down that one. So these new to exercises, the excuse before lockdown, what were they saying before lockdown? Oh, no time, I'm too tired, I'm too expensive, I've no motivation to exercise, I don't like exercising alone, I get bored easily, I might get injured. These were all the excuses they had before lockdown. Suddenly, they all this time, you got Joe Wicks there or anything else, their favorite Pilates teacher or someone who does, this bloke in Goose does exercises apparently, who does it with bands, that guy as well. Oh, it's convenient. All you got to do is get dressed, log in, and leave the rest of the trainer. It's just easy. It's no really excuses to, you haven't got to find your car keys, you haven't got to pack a bag, you haven't got to go anywhere. And also the gym environment, there's lots of young, fit, you know, people out there you compare yourself to, you think, oh God, I'm not going down there, I look terrible in front of these young people. Obviously, simple, if you keep the exercise simple, there can be body weight exercises, minimum equipment, obviously bands are best, and we'll look at that later. And do we need machines? Do we need to buy an exercise bike or a cross trainer? Because we know at the end of the life, they'll just be sat in the corner hanging your washing on your exercise bike. I've done it myself. That's what I did. Great to hang dry a towel, dry your sheets. They're great, but obviously, who really uses their exercise bikes at home? Nobody. And lastly, it's safe environment. We're going to lockdown tomorrow, and you save tons of time, and it just gets it done. Because some people love exercise, some people just got to get it done because you know it's good for you. So, next slide I'm going to do is look at the technical issues of we're going to answer some of the technical issues of online training. 1 second. Oops, a daisy, that's gone way too far. So got one of my clients there, Rob, thank you Rob for taking those pictures. So we've got a situation here now where you can use an iPad as your camera to that's me on the screen there, to watch the screen. You can obviously, I can see the person exercising through the camera on the iPad. And obviously you can hear through the iPad, or you could even get a cable. You can see a cable here that goes around, links to the TV. So it's an HDMI cable. But first of all, you get the HDMI adapter. I'm not trying to get complicated here. A simple adapter goes into the iPad. And then from there, you get this cable goes all the way around to the TV. So a number of things happen there. You get a bigger picture of what I'm doing because I'm the trainer or whoever it might be. You can see them easier. You can hear them through the TV better as well. Just 1 second, guys. That's my 25 minutes up. Oh my God, 1 second. Okay, guys, can we all just stand up? Because now we've got to get a bit of exercise. I've been standing there way too long. So we're going to stand up, guys. So up we go. Just stand up, guys, for a few seconds. Put your arms above your head. I'll put your arms in front of like this. Then put your arms in the air. Have a nice stretch. We're going to go straight back to it. A nice stretch. You're going to lean to the left and lean to the right. Good. And back down again and go back again one more time. Nice stretch. Every 20 minutes you do this. Obviously, I do it all the time, obviously. What a liar. I'm relaxed, guys. Okay, let's go back to it. So I don't know how I'm doing for time, but certainly in terms of the number of slides I've got left. Okay, so that's an option. You've got an HDMI cable about 20 quid, the adapter 20 quid, the cable about £5. You can be here and see through the TV and be seen through your iPad camera or your phone camera, which can be moved around. That there can be moved around. That's your camera, but you hear and see through the TV. That's just one option that I show you, which is very, very doable, which you can do anywhere. I just can continue to use whatever device feels convenient to you. Okay, my move from in-person, I did have, in March, I have 50 clients that had come into my gym, and obviously I lost half of them in lockdown. So the reasons were, obviously, they're doing their own workouts. They didn't fancy doing the online stuff. Some of them used my workout, which is fine. They could do what they've learned in the gyms over the years, or a few of them just stopped completely. Obviously, some of the issues, we had some technical issues, and Dave Burnham really helped me out in big ways on the line today. He rang people up and taught them through how to get their devices working. So obviously, you always think old person, technical problems. Well, not this case, that everyone worked out fine. So, and again, the reason they stuck with me because they're loyal. They do know they need to train their bodies because they've been training it for so long. Why would they stop? And they have time to do it, obviously, and it's good for their mental health as well. Obviously, my experience is online training. I had 4,000 hours of in-person training, but 0 hours of online training. I have now got 150 hours under my belt. Did it for about 7 months, 5 or 6 sessions a week. You can add that up. But anyway, and what I've learned in that time very quickly, I need to be visual. People have got to see me. They've got to better hear me. My settings have got to be quite good. My lighter environment. So I've got a nice brick wall now, which I use. I've got a wallpaper brick wall. I should wear bright shirts so I can be seen easily. And I've got to give crystal clear demonstrations because obviously you can misinterpret what I'm doing. So I've got to be crystal clear of how I'm demonstrating. But because my clients, existing clients, they knew exactly, they were well drilled, they knew exactly what to do. So coaching them was very easy. We have done a lot of new stuff since then, but initially we kept it very simple, but they knew what to do because they've been doing it for 4,000 hours. Or, well, not that, I've done that, they've done less than that, you get the idea. Everyone purchased a home kit, a gym kit, which you'll see shortly. And throughout the weeks, I've created theme weeks. We do cardio weeks. We do ISO weeks where you hold a muscle in one still position. And we do endurance weeks, very themed weeks. And if anyone joins us now, we really ask them to prove to me they can do our 10 foundational moves, which we do. And to do that, I give them an ebook now, which you can get later. If you want an ebook, you can download it. So that's the ebook they get. Can they perform these 10 exercises properly before they start online? Because we have a class dynamic, we have people who can do it. So it'd be terrible if one person joined and couldn't do any of the exercise, because I'd be looking at that person all the time on the screen, giving that person lots of feedback and coaching, and completely ignoring the rest of the group. And that's wrong, obviously, because they all need to get the equal amount of feedback. So they need to be able to do those 10 exercises. That proves to me that they can do most things that we get involved with. And we offer level 1 to level 10. That means every exercise got lots of options. And these 10 basic moves, like your own self-assessment, if you can, oh God, sorry guys, oh, what have we done now? Oh, what I'm doing. So they're like your own self-assessment, so you can see how you're doing. And they're also a basic requirement of aging well. You should better do these. My guys can do these in their 70s and 80s. So how are you doing in 50s and 60s? And it's a good understanding of where your body and mind are heading as regards strength, core, mobility, and balance. And more on that later. So how do you get and stay in shape for the next 30 years? It could be your new part-time career. Before we talk about that, let's see if you agree with these statements. Your first stage of life, maybe the first 20 years, you're doing some learning, you're at school, you're at college, or university. Your second stage of life, you're earning, you're building a career, you're starting a family, you're building a nest egg. Then your third stage of career, well, that's lots and lots of options. You can stay working part-time, you can completely stop work completely, you can do some voluntary work, you can do whatever you want really based on, and that could be any time from 50 to 70. There's thousands of different options of way of getting there. But the fourth stage of life is basically old. And a little story about Barbara who lived with me, my mother-in-law, she's 86. I asked her the day, do you think yourself as an old person? And in a heartbeat, she said, no, how dare you ask me that, almost. So she's at 86, doesn't think herself as an old person. So when does that fourth stage start? I have no idea really, because the song, God, sorry guys, sorry, because some people are definitely old at 55, and some people are very young at 85. So you get the idea. And how fast you move from stage 3 to stage 4 is the key, from being very functional, very strong, to that old person. I think we're all planning for the last 10 years, because we've seen how people, you can see your parents, how they've aged over the last 10 years of their life. You know, you can see when they eventually did pass away, what was those last previous 10 years like. So I want mine to be pretty quick. I want to just go to sleep somewhere and just, that'll be it. I want to make sure I go from basically stage 3, miss out stage 4, and go straight to my funeral. Thanks very much. So I don't want this messing around with bloody, you know, whatever, creaking bones and all that. I want to keep myself strong and fit. So you agree with all those statements? So how to stay strong and supple as we get older? Again, attitude. My mother-in-law is an example. She's got a great attitude to life. She's not old yet. Look around you, see what's happening in around, how people are moving and shuffling around. That the pictures in that image and that the pictures in that image. And like I said before, health and fitness, maybe it should be your new part-time career, because it does pay dividends in the end. You may avoid that horrible COVID if you're fit and strong. Get serious, everything matters, and will its image represent you in later years? And obviously it's never too late to start. And what you should know about getting old, obviously there's something called sarcopenia, which is the loss of lean muscle mass, starts about 50 years of age, and it accelerates quite quickly. It is definitely the slippery slope. People lose muscle mass. You know yourself, if you're ever injured or you go into hospital for an operation, your muscle disappear in a matter of days and weeks. So you've got to rebuild those muscles. But obviously, if you are conditioned before you go in, then something called muscle memory. The muscles come back very quickly if you've got some sort of conditioning before. If you haven't, then you're going to struggle with it. So it's really important you start doing something that loads the muscles and the bones at around 50 or that sort of age, really. And is walking enough? Well, maybe not to put some stimulus in your muscles. And I put that as a place called in Sardinia, which is called a blue zone, where people live extraordinarily long lives without any illnesses, really. Obviously, they've got the great fertile land. But what they have got, they've got hills, and these old people walk up these hills every single day. So we haven't got hills around in Cheshire. So how else are you going to build your muscles? Because unless your muscles burn, you're not really giving them the right stimulus for them to grow. As the next line says, you've got a progressive muscle burning exercise, especially in your legs and your glutes. My guys know all about that. And there is a falling pandemic. You must know somebody who's fallen over, and we do lose power. The ability to step forward and stop yourself falling is a reaction. And you can stop yourself falling if you move quick enough, but the risk does not have to increase as we age. You can do something about it. And obviously core strength, because obviously everything starts from your core activating. Once your core fires, and then everything else can move from there, really. And we'll talk about more about the joints later, but obviously ankles, knee, hips, upper back and shoulders all need to be healthy. And the exercise choice for the over 50 is really important. Obviously, you can see all those YouTube giants. Would you choose any of those options to get involved with? Maybe not, but I think really you should be doing some strength and resistance work is the key really to it all. Really, obviously some cardio, but yes, you know my thoughts on that. And your fitness goal really should be avoid injury, have efficient use of your time, and build a strong, supple body. Because like I say, who has got hills to walk in unless you go and do lots of hiking somewhere, you get out in the open, which is a great thing to do. I do that a lot. Then otherwise you need to do something else which gets your muscles burning. So some of the things we address when we do in our workouts, we all got people with weak glutes. We've got people that have lower back pain. We have people with sore knees. We've got to work around all these. These are things that happen, I'm afraid, when you get a little bit older. These things start to happen, so you've got to address these things now. You get people who've got really bad posture. You can see a forward head position. Got a good bit of modeling that, isn't it? I think I get stuck there one day. Obviously, get a round shoulders and rounded shoulders, rounded back. And these all need addressing because bad posture adds more stress on your body. If your spine is not aligned properly, it just adds a constant stress on your body, which just adds to the fatigue of getting older and I won't go there. So what we need to do is look at these anatomy shots. So if you're going to do some work, then the muscles you need to be working really, like we said, when you're over 50, strengthen the back line, the core, the legs. 2/3 of the training time should be done on the back and the core. The first one there is trapezius muscle, like a cloak, cape-like muscle. You've got upper, you've got a mid, you've got a lower traps. You've got to work all those muscles. And underneath the traps, you've got the rhomboid, which bring your shoulder blades together. You've got to work those. You've got to work your hamstrings. You've got to work your glutes. Most people don't work their hamstrings enough. You've got all these core muscles here. Everyone talk about the six-pack, but you've got deeper ones than that. This muscle here, you got lots of internal and external obliques. I won't get too technical with all these, but you've got to work all these core muscles, and you do that with bands the best way. And finally, you've got 3 glute muscles. You've got the big glute maximus, medius at the top, and minimus under the maximus. These all need working, and that's really what gives you that great posture. And that's what we're trying to do with people over 50, really. So how do you set your own gym up for less than £40? It's your own multi-gym. Along with it, if you know what you're doing, you can build up an exercise like 100 exercises using your own band gym. That'll give you that strong and supple body. So this is a sort of kit you get when you do some online training with us. You get 2 loop bands, you get an orange and red one, different strength. You get 4 or 5 mini bands, different packs coming through. You get a door anchor. You don't get a door, you find your own door yourself. You can buy a chair, a stool, or side table. You can get creative with your own stuff in the house. A towel, we use some stuff with a towel. You may need some books to stand on, do some step-offs. Light dumbbells are optional. If you've got them, that's great, or kettlebells. Obviously, you're going to use your own body weight. And you're going to have a very good, well-designed, home-based program, which works on strength, core, mobility, and balance. And it builds all the muscles in the previous slide. So doing that, it works all those muscles with those bands, believe it or not. This door anchor, if you want to know how that works, that goes inside the door here. You can see here, it goes inside the door, and then you close the door on it. And you've got that from the lower hinge, I think there you've got the door anchor with the strap. You tie your band around it. It's simple to do. It's flexible height. You can go high, medium, low, give you tons of exercises to do. It's part of the home gym kit. It does create your own multi-gym. You can do a double band setup where you put another band around that band and you can do lots and lots of stuff. And there's something called a Kaiser machine, which is basically it's just basically a £2,000 door anchor and band, but it's got cables and it's a fortune. So why use that when you can get this for about less than 40 quid? And obviously you'll see the door anchor in action later. Oops, sorry about that. I just jumped again as usual. Just 1 second, guys. Checking my. I'm going to be way over an hour, I think. Maybe not. So. If you have any questions, obviously you can post questions. If you think of anything, no questions yet, which is fine, no problem at all. So we'll continue. Okay. So what are the 10 principles I've discovered from my 4,000 hours of training at the over 50s? I think you've got to make the training that makes everyday movements easier. Reaching, bending, gripping, sitting and standing, carrying things, stair climbing. and improving performance of your hobbies and sports like golf, cycling, hiking, gardening, and other things. That's got to be your main goal, I think, for people in their 50s. That's what they really want to do, really, to improve their performance, but to be very functional, to be able to reach, bend, do all things around the house, and keep doing those forever and ever and ever. Obviously, to do that, we've got to build muscle. As I said before, it's the foundation of active longevity. All movements we do within the training, one of my principles, we must strengthen the core. That's why bands are so good. You've got to have the right, correct level of intensity for you. It's your workout. Avoid exertion. Why would you push yourself? You're not training for any Olympic games, just train to tick all those boxes in number one. You've got to try and perform the movement perfectly to avoid injury. So that's why it's probably quite good to have someone watching you. You should, what I found out, we try and create movements that integrate the upper body, the lower body, and the core. So 3 things, they call them compound movements. A squat is a compound movement. It includes the lower body, upper body, and the core. So we need to do a lot of split stands with rotation. That is a compound movement. We've only got people in their session for so long. Let's try and join all of them. And that's how our body works together. It doesn't work separately. Go in these machines in the gym, they isolate the bicep or the tricep or whatever it be. Your body's not like that. Body works. It's got to work as one chain of movements, and it's designed that way. Designed to work together. And movements that challenge your balance, because that is a great mind-body connection. You know, obviously the big problem nowadays is dementia. People do crosswords, but the best thing you can do is just work on your balance, because that sets off a nervous storm in your body, which affects all the different muscles, and that gives the brain a much better workout. And obviously cardio gets the blood going as well in the brain. So exercise generally is wonderful for dementia, but I won't go into that rabbit hole. Movements that challenge your balance, really important. And as I said before, training that does 2/3 of posterior, oh God, I've done it again, sorry. The 2/3 that train the back and 1/3 the front, because we live in a sort of flex society, so we've got to try and get you standing more upright, you know, nice and tall, where everything in your head stacked on top of your shoulders, everything stacked on top of each other in a nice line, not in that forward head position, which is the typical thing you saw with that old person sign. And for me, I train my clients like athletes and not as older people. The things we do is exactly the things that we've done with an athlete who's in the Olympics, just different intensity. They're doing exactly the same movements, believe it or not. So train the person like an athlete, do not train them like an old person. Don't have them sat in a chair, swinging their arms around. They've got to stand up and do some proper work. And really it's the thing about prehab versus rehab, because obviously whenever you come out of hospital, you do the rehab. So why not make it into, we always do rehab, it's called prehab. So whenever you do go into hospital, you go in there and you'll come out and you'll rehab 10 times faster, because you're already conditioned, your body's conditioned. So a lot of our stuff we do is almost like a type of rehab, but we call it prehab. So you strengthen all those right muscles, all those right joints. So that's what we're trying to do. Some more thoughts about training people over 50. Your goal is to give them pain-free movement if we can, make them strong, make them balanced, make them coordinated. If they have injuries or impingements or overuse or repetitive stuff, and it is chronic, then you must go and see somebody, refer them out, go and get it sorted by some professional, you know, some chiropractor, some physio, get it sorted, then come back and do your exercise within the session, because so many people do go to their physio, they get given that sheet, and no one does the exercises. So really, if you can get involved with a session, just a little bit of that stuff, then you're in the right area, really. Address general stiffness, immobility of modern life, sedentary lifestyle, and labor saving devices. You know, we get a remote control, we used to stick down, stand up and turn the TV, now we just, we get really peed off, we can't find the remote control. We've got to get out of our chair, and oh my God, what a pain that is, isn't it? Find remote control, my God. And these people who blow their leaves, I like raking my leaves. People blow their leaves. I mean, that's again, just the people just use labor saving devices when there's a chance to do a workout. Everything should be a workout. And we stand and stretch every 20 minutes. We did that before. As a friend of mine whose mum's about 95, and she sets a little alarm for herself every 20 minutes. She stands up. As I walk around, she's been doing that for quite a number of years, and it works. Obviously, she's 94 or 95, so she's doing really well. Strength, you can build muscle you can build muscle and tone at any age as you get older. Believe me, you can. And I said before, we've got to do some balance work, which is brain-body connection. And the core, the main purpose of the core is protect the spine and stabilize movement. So whenever you go to do something, the core works first, unless you've got a badly trained core, because that's what you've got to do. It's got to fire like straight away, and that supports movement. Otherwise, you suddenly get, oh my God, I did my back in cleaning my teeth because we've basically done no core movement, and just one little thing, or picking up a feather off the ground, they hurt their back because it was just about to go. It was all about movements, no core movement, and it came from nowhere, they said. Yeah, whatever. So you've got to be supple, you've got to bend and move easily. And that's without pain or grunts if possible. That's what we try to do, be supple. And mobility and stability, which is the next slide. Very quickly, we're trying what we do in terms of joint by joint. So if you work from the ankle needs to be mobile. The knee needs to be stable. We don't want a knee going everywhere. It needs to be stable. So muscles that join that. The hip needs to be mobile. This is how we work people. The lumbar spine, the muscles around the lower back need to be stable. So otherwise you're going to get a bad back. You don't want your back flexing all the time. So it needs to be stabilizing that part of your body. The thoracic spine needs to be mobile, or you're going to get a rounded stiffness. So that's another joint by joint approach. As you can see, you're working down the chain here. Different joints have different requirements. The scapula needs to be stable, because that helps you lift your arms in the air, and it stays close to your ribs. You move your arms in the air. And finally, the shoulder, glenohumeral joint, the shoulder needs to be mobile. It's another ball and socket joint. So it needs to move around easily. And that's basically how the joint by joint approach comes from. We're almost there, guys. I think we are. So I can bash through the next few slides. Obviously, we know about my ebook. So we're going to go very quickly through what the 10 foundational movements are now. So we do can you do these movements? Can you do a nice cat-camel, which improves spine stiffness as we round and we arch? Can you do the Superman in a balanced position where you're not rocking to one side, you're not wobbling everywhere? That's a great exercise for lower back strength. Can you brace against the floor with your head in like a double chin, not looking backwards? Can you really brace properly? Can you do that for a few seconds? Can you shoulder bridge? You can do that and really squeeze your glutes without arching your lower back. We can do that on one leg as well. Obviously, all these exercises have lots of options to do different things. Which level would you be at if you try to do a high plank? Would you be on the chair? Would you be on a stool? Or would you be on the floor? And that's the beauty of what we do. Like I said, we work from level 1 to 10. We find your level that works for you. So that's really important. You see so many bad positions. People try to do a plank. They use like a snake, but they bend in the middle. They lose this bit here. They bend in the middle. Their head drops down. Their arms are all bent. So, but the beauty of this is try and move from that to that. To go from that easy option, eventually work your way down to this option. That's what you're trying to do, and that's what you call progressive training. Can you hinge properly? Can you get a nice straight line there where my cursor is there? It's like a nice curving your spine. Can you keep your neutral spine? We do bend over 100 times a day, believe it or not, because count it one day how many times you bend over and you flex your spine here. Eventually you'll pick up that feather one day and think, oh, my back, how did that happen? Because you're not using your big muscles here, your hamstrings, your glutes. That's how you bend, by shoving your hips back, stopping your knees, and that's how you should bend. Can you stand in the split stance with 1 foot way back and 1 foot way forward? It almost simulates a walking stride, because as we get older, we tend to shuffle more, but that encourages you to get a really big stride, so you can really stride out And we do lots of different movements from a split stand position. Next, can you do the world's greatest stretch? We work into that. We don't just go straight into it. We work into the exercise. It improves hip mobility, shoulder stability, upper back and neck mobility while strengthening the core, all in one cool exercise. Can you do a squat with your knees wide, sitting back with your arms out? Can you do that? Can you get as low as that? Or can you work into it? Obviously, we can do it as a box squat. You can sit, oh God, there you go. So anyway, it's a basic functional movement of life. We sit and stand every single day, but are you using the arms of the chairs to get up, or can you just get up straight from the chair with your wide knees using your strong legs? And can you do a pull apart? Can you just your upper back to initiate that movement? That's a great movement for upper back strength. We do tons of stuff with our little mini bands as part of our home gym kit. And I think they're the 10 movements we'd expect people to do if they were thinking of joining one of our online gyms. And this is a door anchor in action now. So we've got this obviously is anchored. It's a double band setup, red bands on the anchor, the orange bands loop round. We're doing something called chops, highs and lows here. It is an amazing exercise for this part of your body here. My waist is with a big, strong core action. Lovely Y stance. It targets the internal, external glutes. You saw those in the previous slide. I like to call it, I've just got a new name, the band gym, quite like that. So also we're trying to address things like the rounded shoulders. So the best, because obviously your head weighs between 11 pounds or 5 kilos, really heavy. Imagine the stress on the upper back and how long those muscles will get and how weak they're going to get. It's a huge stressor over time. And it makes people really tired. People who walk around, they're always knackered because basically they're just in a horrible posture. And that's a modern flexed life position. You see kids now are on phones all day long. It develops over time, but you know, give it time, you'll get there in the end if you want that. Or you can use the band gym and get this little band around your wrist and really work into this posture. You won't believe it, the same blow, would you? So nice straight body. I've still got a little bit of forward head. My daughter said I've got forward head position. Nah, I don't think she's right, but anyway. So next slide. If you want to get strong glutes, someone's cut my glutes off there. How's that? Got a nice pert bum there. And so yeah, my best way to do that is do your shoulder bridges. We can do it on double legs or single legs. Strong glutes are the cornerstone of all movement. When you step forward to pick something up, your glutes are these shock absorbers. If you don't have it, it'll go straight into your knees. You'll get bad backs, hips, knees, all from having weak glutes, believe it or not. And you've got to work all three glutes. You know where they are now. They are traditionally lazy muscles. When you sit down all day, the nerves that supply the glutes can go to sleep, believe it or not. If you're not careful, you sat on those nerves all day long. They can't get the signals down to activate the muscles. So they can be quite lazy, glutes can be. There's lots of ways of working the glutes. I can show you some of the exercise we do to work our glutes. We do sort of monster walks. You got a band around here. You can step forward, get backwards, step, 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 going backwards, step forwards. You can do lateral walks, and it works really does work the glutes. You can do these seated adduction works, which works the glute med, the one at the top of the hip. That works that. That is horrible. I'm doing that one. That makes your glutes burn. We can do a split stance where you're putting most of your load in this left hip. And we can do lots of, we can reach my right hand across my left and reach around, get even more activation. With lots of things we can do with our body weight. Almost there, guys. What time is it? It's, oh, not too bad. Just 1 second. No questions, that's okay. So then we go into what we can do with our bands. We can do a squat and a press. This is our ready position. We can squat down and we can press it above our head. And we can do this in lots of different ways. You can get different tempo. We can stay at the bottom a bit longer. We can go down shorter. We can move faster. And we hit we hit the core cardio, it's endurance, it's strength, it's core, it's a squat, it's all in one simple exercise using our band. And this is just one of 100 exercises you can do with the orange band. It's super useful. I promise you at the start that I would give you what I think is the best core exercise for the over 50s, and this is what I think it is. It's something called shoulder taps. You can see I've gone from 4 points of contact. If that hand was on the step, there'd be 4 points of contact, but now I'm on 3 points of contact. So the core has got to do serious stabilizing to really keep me in that position without shifting my hips to one side. I have got a wide stance, but that is hitting my core like you can't believe. And the beauty of that is I'm on a low stool where you can do that exercise in a high chair, even on a kitchen side, or you can do it on the floor, depends what your level is, and you can work to find another level as you get stronger. We're almost there, guys. This is the last slide coming up, I think. I'm going to do it now, I don't believe it. Wow. Okay, yes, we do have something called a band gym. And the beauty of bands, that advertise the bands, is you get a constant tension in the core. Whenever you pull a band towards you, or whatever you do with a band, there's always that constant tension on the core. And unlike weights, they have a variable resistance. So backwards and forwards, the resistance changes. Unlike weights, they are joint friendly. They don't jar the joints. And as we get older, we lose that ability to move fast, or something called power. And with a band, you can get the right thing and push really hard against the band, and it will react. Like I said, the next one, you can move fast safely with bands. And with bands, you have resistance both ways, so you can go power going out and control coming back. They work in both directions, so they really are a wonderful rehab tool. A lot of physios use bands for rehab, so why not use them part of the program? Because prehab, rehab, you know, I think it's definitely got sort of put in there. Yeah, why not be it as a prehab tool? And it's a perfect training tool for the ageless body. So I think we're almost at the end. I've got a little bit of a sales pitch now for anyone who wants to get involved with my sessions. So we can do a free taste to see if we can do those 10 foundational moves. We've got 10 spaces I'm creating. I'm going to we do most of our session at 10 in the morning, but we are creating more sessions. I do charge £45 a month for 45 week training. That means I have some weeks off, but every 6 weeks, not at the moment, we're in lockdown. First month, a little special offer, half price for the first month for new people who are joining us. Unlimited access to daily sessions, feedback from me, clear demonstrations, adaptions always available, and we work strength, core, mobility and balance, and you can get yourself your own band gym working from home. And finally, any questions? So I think I'm done. I've not done too bad there. For someone, I had 43 slides. I'm 3 minutes over my time. So are you all still there? I think so. You're all still logged in. Leslie's in twice. That's it, guys. So there will be a recording for this if you want to share it with your friends. If you have got any questions, you can question now. If not, there's no problem with that. You can go home now. Go home. You are home. Oh, 1 second. You can watch the American election. I've got Neil Merritt. Okay, thanks, very interesting, very good. Thanks for the comments, guys. Very good from Neil Merritt, thank you. So if you want, can I order a band kit? Yes, you can, Neil. That's good. I'll do that for you. I think you've almost got some of the kit anyway. I'll just get you a Saturday guide. We'll be getting the whole kit eventually. It's got to build up slowly. Thank you, Marianne, for your comments. Very interesting. So, like I said, there will be recording on. I hope I have been live on YouTube and Facebook. So that's it, guys. If there's no more questions, you can go home and enjoy yourself. I'm going to have my tea. Keep saying go home, you're already at home anyway. So you're all logging out one by one. See you later. I'm still here. Thanks, Rob. No problem. Thank you. Okay.